name is Nguyen. You can call me Sam, and this is my teammate Nguyen Tai Wee, or you can call him by his English name Boi. So, cut to the chase. Today, I want to talk about how our universe may perish in the future. So, according to scientists, there's one big theory that may lead to the universe extinction, which is the Big Rip. And the Big Rip happens when our universe expansion accelerates and planets from all over our universe, including stars, start to break apart. It will continue to break apart until it is as small as the size of an atom. And those atoms will decay into energy, and so is proton. And those energy will be distributed throughout the universe, and our universe will meet its destination, which is the Big Rip. But today, I don't want to bring up the sad news, but instead, I want to share to you guys the good news. What if I say that our humanity can survive this despairing scenario using entropy? But what's entropy in the first place? Well, entropy is defined as the measurement of degree of randomness in our universe. It is used for measuring the degree of freedom that an atom has. It tells us whether our object has the precise configuration or whether it can fluctuate into many different arrangements while still keeping the same appearance. Also, entropy plays a very important role in cosmology and in the chronological order in which transformation happens. For easier understanding, take a look at these two situations. In the first situation, is an open balloon inside a box containing gas. And the second situation is also an open balloon. But this time, the gas is evenly distributed around the box. So which one do you guys think will happen first? Will it happen from left to right, or will it happen the other way? Well, many of you have the intuition that it happens from left to right. But do we know why?
This may be the answer. We could use this equation. S equals K times log times omega. S equals entropy, and K is the Boltzmann constant that never changes. And finally, omega is the number of microscopic configuration. So how do we understand omega? Omega can be understood with an example. If we take 4 people to be distributed amongst 2 rooms, we could have all 4 in one and none in the other, 3 in one and 1 in the other, or 2 in 2, 1 in 1 and 3 in the second box, and finally all 4 in the second box and 0 in the first box. If each person was wearing a different color shirt, then each distribution counts as a microstate. So statistical mechanics also tells us that the most probable configuration is the one with the most microstates. So if we want to calculate the possibility of the most possible configuration, it would be 6 out of the 16 possible configuration. So this is a mathematical reasoning for why entropy tends to increase spontaneously in the closed system. This phenomenon is also called equilibrium. Equilibrium is the final state of entropy when entropy has increased to its maximum. So, how does the entropy and equilibrium save the humanity? Because the universe is always expanding, if we wait long enough, then everything would disappear and turn into gas. So how do we save our humanity? We could use black holes. If we can control the amount of black holes that can consume an object, and we could move the black hole, we need to move the black hole in between 2 galaxies, so that it could pull those 2 galaxies against the expansion of the universe and could potentially save the universe. But how can we move the black hole?
Well, I hope I can illustrate this to you today. So, we could use the Penrose process, which is Penrose theory created by him. And thanks to that theory, we can turn Boy's theory into practice. So, in his theory, we only need a spinning black hole and a rocket. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Why do we need a spinning black hole? And why do we need a rocket? Well, we know that a spinning black hole spins non-stop due to angular momentum. And when it spins, it creates a rotational force that will create an area that will envelop the black hole. And that area is called the ergosphere. And we also know that a star collapse under its own gravity will create a black hole. And Einstein's equation said that gravity is somewhat related to energy. So if we harness the energy of a spinning black hole, we might as well can create a black hole. So back to Penrose theory. So in this theory, if we shoot a rocket into the ergosphere, we can trade some of our mass energy and do get some of its kinetic energy, and we will escape with a lot more energy than we have last entered.
Because we are dealing with a black hole and we are trying to harvest the black hole's energy, we could potentially die in the process. So why do we need to risk our lives to protect the universe? This could have dated back years ago when people didn't think about the Earth nor the universe. They only cared about themselves and their family. But then, years later, they started to care about the country because of war. And in the recent years, people started to care about the Earth because of pollution and climate change. So now, we need to protect our universe at all costs.
We live to protect our loved ones because we value them. We develop ourselves, we study to care for them. So that in the future, when they're gone, we won't regret what we have done to them in the past. And the last thing I want all of you to take away from my presentation is a life with regret is an unfulfilled life. Thank you for your listening.